think of it this way. Um, if you're making coffee every morning, like I do, a pot of coffee, and I have different kinds of filters that I can put in. I've got a metal one that's kind of a gold color. I've got different kinds of paper ones. I've got solid like puck ones that will go into my espresso machine. And at the end of the day, all of those hold coffee, and all of those will allow the water to filter through and hopefully leave the ground coffee in its place. But each of those is just a little bit different kind of filter, a little bit different kind of way for the water to go through, that's faster, that's slower, and the end result is a little different. And so when you can have a cup of coffee that's super rich, or you can have a cup of coffee that's more weak, um, and begging to have pumpkin spice latte or something added to it. But the difference is not that it's coffee. The difference is the process of filtering. And sometimes we just have to think about our stories as if we're going to filter them. I'm putting something between my audience and me that helps me think, how do I share it in this context? And you'll see in the Mr. Beast stuff that the team did that. They had to think through, how can I share it? What needs to be repeated? If people take away nothing else about the story, what are the most important things that we want them to take away? And the challenge of this for a lot of businesses is we just think that's going to come out intuitively. We just think we're going to get in front of the right person and it's just going to be there. And that's not the reality of how it works. Now, I've seen amazing salespeople who can pull a almost a rabbit out of a hat, so to speak, in terms of telling a story. But for the majority of people, it's difficult. And it can be difficult with people you know. It can be difficult with people you don't know, because most of us share normal life stories on a whim without planning. But you can't get away with that in your business. You're going to need to take all the amazing things you do and figure out, how am I going to filter these? How am I going to distill this down so that the product that I serve to someone at the end of the day is so clear they know exactly what we want them to do. Okay. So that is really the first story that you've got to be thinking about, is the audience story, the story that you are speaking specifically to the people you're trying to reach, who you have a product or service for. How can you get that so clear? What can you put in place to help you filter the complex things you do down into the most important pieces?